Oh, okay then. Well, I can understand that you are a pro-censor and a pro-deplatformer,
I'm
but...
pro-punching you in the mouth is what I am.
Oh, so violence too.
Hate speech isn't free! Trans men are men! Trans women are women! And trash is trash!
How can you just try to shut people down and say, no, you're transphobic? Phobia is a fear, an irrational fear of something. We are not in fear of you.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto, and I'm outside a little public library on Palmerston Avenue, and as you can see behind me perhaps there's already a police presence assembling, and the reason for that is feminist Meghan Murphy will soon be having a discussion on gender identity and its legislative ramifications on Canadian women. Well, some people aren't happy about that discussion. They call Miss Murphy's opinions transphobic. They call her thoughts akin to hate speech. And when the expected protesters show up, I'll ask them to try to articulate why it is they want to deplatform this feminist and why they are in support of censorship and deplatforming. Well, ma'am, what brings you out to this protest? Oh, okay. Well, can I look at what your sign says?
It says Trinity St. Paul's United Church because that's who we are and that's where I work.
Okay, then. And you support censorship and
I
deplatforming?
support trans rights, and I'm not speaking to you. Trans rights are human rights. Just repeat that. Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights.
You obviously disagree with Miss Murphy, but why not have a debate? Why not have a discussion? Why shut somebody
Because
down?
we have hate speech in this country. We know what hate speech is.
But you folks can ask you what brings you out to.
Sorry.
No. Tell me, it seems like you're all about deplatforming and censorship, but how does that help the disenfranchised?
We already told you once we're not talking to you. Now we're telling you a second time we're not talking to you. Get out of our face.
Get out of my face.
That's
I'm
all
not
you
talking
have?
to you.
Say, do you guys have any opinion on Jonathan Yaniv, a.k.a. Jessica Yaniv? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't want to.
Is that a role model for the trans community?
I don't want to.
No, you don't want to? Okay, all right then. How about yourself, ma'am? Jonathan, a.k.a. Jessica Yaniv, is that a role model for the trans community?
Like I said before, I'm not interested in speaking.
Okay, even about Yaniv then, right?
I'm not interested in speaking at all.
What does that mean, by the way? TERFs are the flat earthers of gender, sir. F*** off. Is that what it means?
Nobody talked to
Well, it's that's a quote. Very. Oh no, thank you for it.
I'm here with my pastor.
Okay.
It's a godly time. I'd like you to get out of my space.
Is that the kind of language you'd use in a church, sir? Well, as you can see, we're trying to get these members of the trans community to articulate their points. I guess their opinion, their philosophy when it comes to freedom of speech is that if it is in any way offensive, shut it down. Don't have freedom of speech. And yet the irony is both profound and perverse, I think, all around the world where there is no free speech. And how does that help minorities? How does that help the disenfranchised? Apparently the people here are the only ones blind to that irony. What do you make of this protest out here then?
Well, I understand where they're coming from, but also, like, women have the right to talk about their own rights and how these laws impact people.
I mean, after all, we're in Canada, as far as I know still. We have the right to speak our minds as long as it's not some kind of hate speech or a few other categories. That's what it's all about.
We can't deny the fact that with the passing of Bill C-16 that people aren't going to take advantage of it. And the Deputy Commissioner for Women has said 50% of the requests coming from male institutions are in fact convicted sex offenders with victim pools of women and children. Now they're being transferred into our female institutions where there are female and children. We have the mother-child program. We have children inside. So who's going to protect us if we don't speak out about it? I find that a lot of people don't want to discuss anything. They're afraid of being sued for discrimination, so nobody wants to speak out. And it seems like the bigger voices right now are the trans community. And in fact, I've seen a lot of hateful things from them towards women, like just passing down the street and the signs like "no turfs on our turf." Like, how can you claim that someone's transphobic for wanting to speak up about things like women being sexually assaulted in prisons or being sexually assaulted in homeless shelters? Like, how can you just try to shut people down and say, no, you're transphobic? Phobia is a fear, an irrational fear of something. We are not in fear of you.
How about yourself, sir? Can you explain what your sign means? This is free speech, that is bigotry.
F*** off.
That's all you have to say? You can't articulate your point? Oh, okay then. Well, I can understand that you are a pro-censor and a pro-deplatformer,
I'm
but...
pro-punching you in the mouth is what I am.
Oh, so violence too.
Trans rights are human rights. We will not be silent. We are not afraid. Our movement cannot be defeated. And they will remember this. We will hold them accountable for letting Meghan Murphy into our community spaces.
Hate speech isn't free! Hate speech isn't free! Hate speech isn't free! You're very welcome!
We progressive supported funding for public libraries, and you are supporting the very people who would want to close your doors. Trans men are men! Trans women are women, and trash is trash!
Do you guys want to weigh in, or what's up? Can you articulate why you're here tonight? I think it's supposed to be vertical, isn't it? Okay.
No, for you snake.
Oh, that's the snake symbol, is it? Okay, then. As you can see, folks, this is what we have run into during the course of the evening. People that want to deplatform, people that are pro-censorship, people who profess trans rights but are actually misogynistic, and they don't see the irony in that. In fact, they're laughing about it. They're proud to be misogynistic as they try to deplatform
trans people.
Miss Murphy. Oh, I hear a voice. Sir, are you speaking now, or? Okay. So, you're wrapped up. Your face is all wrapped up, sir. Wait, can you remove your burqa and show us who you are? Boy, a whole bunch of... are you Antifa? Excuse me.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't grab the flag!
Yeah,
don't f***ing touch me!
You're throwing the flag in my face.
No!
Officers, did you witness that?
Touch us!
I'm not touching
In
you.
his space, everyone has a regular personal space.
They're moving into us!
No, you came to me. Take a step back. Yeah, okay.
Back, man. You f***ing rodent.
Wow. What are these? Well, I'm giving you a chance to articulate yourselves, but are you going to follow me around all the time, or what? Say, folks, do you like the kind of hard-hitting journalism we strive to bring you here at Rebel News? Well, I can tell you one thing, unlike so many members of the media party, we don't receive a single nickel in government funding, nor would we take it if it were offered. We depend on you, our viewers, for our support, so if you can kindly go to donations.rebelnews.com, that's donations.rebelnews.com, and make a contribution, we would most appreciate it.